Welcome back here, everyone. We have arrived at episode 2 of She-Hulk. Boy, 2 episodes in and it's still as cringe-worthy as ever. So last episode we learned that Jennifer Walters became She-Hulk after she saved her cousin Bruce from a car crash and 2 drops of his blood get into her and bam, She-Hulk. Worst origin story ever. Completely changed it, but whatever. So this time around we learned that last time when she had that fight with Titania at the end of the thing, apparently Titania is a super-powered social influencer who was in traffic court and decided to have some kind of mini freak out. We don't know why, they never say, we don't really care. Why would you take a villain like Titania and decide to rebrand her as a social media super-powered influencer? Just goes to show how much nobody cares about this show at all. And we get into it now. They, everybody suddenly talking about this new She-Hulk who shows up and She-Hulk this and they dub her She-Hulk. So she goes to this bar. And this is pretty much where it starts. This episode is just... She goes to this bar and everybody's She-Hulk, so she turns into She-Hulk. And my God, the CGI looks terrible. It literally keeps getting worse with every episode. It looks like some kind of weird stick figure, like kind of blocky thing. They have her moving, walking, and it looks very, very wrong. Every movement, every head turn, everything, every time she picks up a glass to drink, it just looks terrible. Absolutely terrible. So, she's at the bar, and of course we have to get more of the how awful men are and depicting men as total scumbags. Some other lawyer she was working with, he has to be depicted as the biggest male dickhead alive, and it's all, how did you get these powers and things. And when she tells him, she doesn't want to tell him. He's about, there's a hot chick over there, I'm going to go talk to it. Because they literally have to find every way to literally degrade men in this series. And if you thought that was bad, when her friend is telling that, she's a superhero now, she's about, no, I didn't go to law school and rack up 6 figures in student loans to become a vigilante. That's for billionaires, narcissists, and adult orphans for some reason. No, it's for people who, despite having suffered tragedy in their lives, want to make a difference and are willing to go out there and do that. But since you don't care about that and your only thing is to just tear down every flicking thing you could find, because the MCU that gave birth to your crappy show was full of such individuals, why not tear them down? Because who gives a crap about them? While she's at the bar, the district attorney, because apparently she's an assistant district attorney, the district attorney comes and tells her that the case that she was trying when Titania came in and she transformed and fight her has been declared a mistrial because she turning into She-Hulk and saving people kind of biased the jury against it. So he ends up telling her that he's going to have to fire her because he can't afford to have her being She-Hulk there, it will cause a conflict of interest. Nobody gives a crap. So she gets fired. And then we go through this insufferable 1 minute and 30 seconds of her looking for other work here and there, and everybody telling her, sorry, they can't hire her, better look next time, all kind of thing, and she's scrolling through things. It's a complete waste of time and an utter boring, pandering nonsense. And this is the very theme that this entire episode takes. It's just boring. Next thing you know, she goes to see her family, and again 2 minutes of absolute rubbish that nobody cares about. I could probably tell you about her family, but honestly I stopped being interested in them in like 2 seconds after I saw any of them. It's a complete waste of time. They did some nonsense about she's not the only Hulk in the family, I had to deal with it before. And I'm like, what have you had to deal with? None of you all even make a bloody interest in anything. The only reason that you're even showing this family scene is to show that, she has some kind of, close-knit but somewhat dysfunctional family that keeps riding her back, because why she's a single woman out there trying to make it. It's the most cliched, nonsensical crap you could ever think about. That's exactly what you get out of this, and that's all I have to say about her waste of time family that nobody really cares about. Next thing you know, she's at some bar drinking, and the case that she was trying, the opposing counsel, some old white man, because none of these people have names that you should remember because they're just men, right? Comes and offers her a job at GLK&H, some kind of law firm. She accepts because, let's face it, she has no other options. So she goes there, and on her first day, he basically tells her that he wants her to head up the new superhuman law division, and he wants her to work there full time as She-Hulk. So she transforms into She-Hulk and is walking through the building, and everybody's all staring, and she's breaking the fourth wall, talking about crap nobody's interested in. So she gets to her office, and she also made it clear that if she had to work there, she wanted her own paralegal who's her best friend, because why not? We all need a best friend there. I mean, God forbid this woman have a life of her own, but no, that's it. So she's there, and then she gets to find out that the first case they wanted to work on is Emil Blonsky, aka Abomination. Right? Apparently he's up for parole, and she has to work on it, and she's a little uncomfortable because in the Incredible Hulk movie, Blonsky tried to kill Bruce Banner. Well, not Mark Ruffalo Bruce Banner, the other Bruce Banner, right? So she goes there to see him, and he's telling her, blah blah blah, I've changed, blah blah blah, I'm writing sonnets and thing now, blah blah blah, government gave me super soldier serum, blah blah blah, super soldier serum made me crazy, blah blah blah, that's why I went on a rampage. I mean, let's completely forget the fact that he willingly accepted it, willingly put more of it into himself because he was obsessed with murdering Hulk. Let's forget about that, right? So she's all, she could probably take the case and win, why not? Okay. So she calls Bruce and rambles on for a couple minutes about how, she wants to take the case, but she has to listen to whatever it is he wants, and if he doesn't want her to, she won't, blah blah blah, nobody gives a crap. He tells her, okay, he's fine with it. It's been years since that happened, and he's a different person. Obviously, he wasn't the person who did it, but and whatever, and tells her that she could go ahead, and he's made peace with it. And then we get to find out he's on a spaceship flying somewhere, going somewhere else. I mean, it might have been interesting if for the fact you couldn't really care at all. It's clear that they're setting up something from phase 5. They're trying to slowly walk you through something involving phase 5 that is obviously going to have something to do with space travel, but you really don't care. So she calls her boss to let him know that yes, she's going to accept the case, and he's all okay, fine, turn on the TV and check it out. And then you get to find out now when she turns on the TV and sees Blonsky in his abomination form, because he had said to her that he now could control his transformations and he doesn't want to be abomination, so that's with it. But now she see on TV that apparently abomination was in some kind of participating in some kind of underground fight club, the same thing that was in Shang-Chi. That's what it was about. So clearly they're setting up for the next episode. We're going to see Wong have to come in, because they did pander pretty hard that they're going to be doing a lot of cameos. So they're setting up to have Wong come in, and that's where it ended. After the credits roll, we get a scene, a couple more seconds of her in her horrible CGI She-Hulk form, doing things around the house with her father and thing, lift up some truck, put something on the wall, carrying some water jugs. It's just absolute cringe-worthy nonsense. I decided from this episode on, I am going to actually do something unusual and rank these, rate these shows, these episodes by episode by episode. Normally I would wait till the entire season done, and then I would do my rating for the whole thing. But I'm going to do it episode by episode just because of what's going on. So if last episode I would have given that one a 1, this one, honestly to God, I would give this second episode of She-Hulk a -1 out of 5. Over the fact that nothing happens. It's completely boring, nonsensical crap. This entire episode could have never happened, and nothing would have changed. It's just that boring. It's just terrible, boring rubbish. That's all. It's very terrible, boring rubbish. That's it. So that's it for this second episode of She-Hulk. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the notification bell, be notified every time I put out a new video, and I shall see you all next time. Take care.